Here we go. Can you hear me now? Oh my goodness. All right. Let's start over. All right. So I should end this record. I wonder if I can edit this. So 8 minutes in, you could hear can't hear anything. So thank you for that. All right. So let's go back to so here's the story real quick. I have to tell y'all to start at 8 minutes, right? Before you can hear anything because I'm muted. So the background of the story was I was talking to my daughter. My daughter's stressed out. Uh Darlene, let me know if you can hear it now. And the question I had was, I'm stressed, and one of the things I talked about is that most people have a low ceiling of complexity, right? So when it comes to finances, there is a low ceiling of complexity. This is a concept I learned from Dan Sullivan from Strategic Coach, and when you are don't know anything, you're stressed because you have problems and you don't know how to solve them. And so one of the things why I'm a big proponent of, we have our clients, I need you to read a book a month on money. And why? Because you need to raise your ceiling. You need to learn new stuff. See, as your knowledge goes up, your anxiety comes down. As your knowledge goes up, your confidence goes up. Okay. But in your stress goes down. If you're an investor, you investing is about becoming. So as your knowledge goes up, your risk comes down. So are you working on that with intentionally, intention, right? Jim Rohn says, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. So where's the starting point? So the starting point, the point of that whole discussion was that most people, the game is won and lost with cash flow management. So I was telling my daughter, listen, I need you to save 15, 20% of your gross income. I'd given her The Richest Man in Babylon, which is generally what I give out to graduates. And I was on her because, listen, I'll give you this stuff. I mean, you're stressed out, but I have been teaching you this stuff for the last 4 years. So I don't want to hear it. So now I know I say it like that. I mean, I'm loving and we're going to talk about it, but don't tell me you're stressed. I'm going to give you the tools you need to cope and be more powerful, and you won't do them. Okay. That annoys me greatly. If you're working with me and I recommend a book, you damn sure better have that book within 48 hours of our conversation or our relation. It's not over, but then you're going to meet Coach Curtis, and Coach Curtis is not always pleasant. Okay. And because it's your money, it's not my money. I already know how to do this stuff. Okay. And I'm still learning. All right. But see, don't say you want to change because you can't. You have to take action. See, activity produces knowledge. Knowledge don't produce activity. So now let's start with the starting point, which is managing your cash flow. See, most people, they're budgeting. They're in most of the work. See, first of all, understand this: the majority is usually wrong. Okay, so the masses are usually wrong. So there's a reason why there are 99 percenters and 1 percenters. It's not because they're evil and they're cheating you. It's because you don't know stuff. All right. So because it's easy to say that, but when you are blaming somebody else for your problems, there's three fingers pointing back at you. So, because when I look at the wealth gap, you know what I look at? I look at the knowledge gap and I look at the behavior gap. So if you study what they do, people that are affluent and people that aren't, they think about different stuff, they do different stuff with their time, they spend their money differently. So let's talk about that. All right. So the first rule of wealth. So this is from my favorite book, one of my favorite books, The Richest Man in Babylon, George Clayson. And he was talking to his friends, why are you wealthy and we're not? We went to school together and everything. If you have not acquired more than a bare existence in the years since we were youth, it is because you either failed to learn the laws that govern the building of wealth, or you do not observe them. Okay. So I want to say most of us do not observe them. Okay. Now you got to know they exist. And so one of the things, so this is what I teach people, right? So you need to pay yourself first. First rule of wealth, part of all your earnings yours to keep. So now what I do is we teach people, I'm not going to go through because I'm going to do a course on this, but you want to segment your accounts. You've got to create first thing that we teach is to create a wealth capture account. So what is that? I want you to look at your gross income. I want you to save 15% of that off the top and you just got to pay yourself first. Then you want to create another account for your fixed bills. Your variable bills is your spending money. You got to sort out, okay, after I pay myself and pay my bills, what's left over for what I'm spending and what is it you actually spend. So this is the basis of a cash flow map. So the first thing you have to do is find the money. Most people give most of their money away. Most wealth is lost by how people manage cash flow. So if you can't get control of this, and somebody call me stressed out, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Well, let's do your map. Where's your money going? Because so you're reacting and you don't, and I don't have any information, and you don't have any information. So you're stressed out, but you don't know you don't use cash flow managing as a decision tool. You get hyped about, oh, I'm gonna get a car, and you just get a car, you let yourself be sold, or a timeshare, or some dumb thing you don't need. You might need a car, it's not dumb. But what happens is, what's dumb is okay, because you want to front and look good, you got a $1,200, $1,100, $900 car payment plus the insurance, and you got to use premium gas. For what? You want the trappings of wealth. I want wealth. I could care less about what people think. And uh because what I want you to do is that you don't need to be fronting on IG. You need to have impressive financial statements. You want to be financially free, right? Passive income greater than expenses. So your if I look at your cash flow, that tells me what's important to you. And so the two things that you need to focus on is your income statement, your budget, how you manage your cash flow. And see, the tagline is you have to assign your dollar a job. Before, when it comes in, you already need to know, okay, I got to save this percent. This is the bills I have to cover. If you're in business, same thing. All right, I got money coming in. It's not all your money. It's so this is a special thing. I'll do another one for business owners, but you know, you a certain bit takes things as fixed and variable expenses to run your business. You should be paying yourself a payroll. You should be setting aside money for profit. The profit is what the money you take out to buy other assets. See, if you shut the business down, guys, you're still supposed to be financially free. Okay, now hope for some big payoff one day. Okay, you need to build it while you're doing it. So, but just stay on the personal side. See, if you're in business, one of the things you need to know is what does your life cost, and make sure the business will at least do that for you. Okay, so this is a map that we create for people. And and then we'll do, if you're in business, we'll do a business map for you, because you need to figure out, okay, what is the business making, and are you paying yourself? Are you making sure you're covering your life, your private schools, your mortgage, your car payments? What can you do if you work out of the house to make this tax deductible? See, the game is won right here. All right, because if you don't save, you don't have any money to invest. Most people are putting money, they're investing from cash flow, and they're depriving themselves access to capital by putting all of their money in qualified plans, effectively putting it in jail for 30 years. Okay, now that's a whole different talk, but what I wanted to stay on is this part. Do you have a plan for that? Because one of the things, if that you're interested, what I would tell you, like I told my daughter at the beginning of the story, is you got to learn how money works. Okay, and so fortunately for you, you have a father that knows how to do this, right? And but it doesn't help if you don't listen. One of the things that I would have you go to is I'll give you out a free report called Budgeting Stinks. Okay, and then also we will do what is the other thing? Let's create another banner here. So for this website, if you like, hey, I like this, let me give you this also. So this is just, we do other stuff, but this is just for the cash flow map, right? And so if you want to go, you can just go right to this web page here, and I'm going to leave it showing for a little while, and just book a discovery call. I'll give you an idea how it works. We'll see, because before you get into other stuff, you want to retire, right? Well, I'll do these with retirees. What is it that I know you want to retire, but can you afford to do that? So we'll do retirement ready or not, and then we'll book, okay, listen, your income, what is your life cost? And then if you stop working, which is you shouldn't be doing that anyway, but if you stop working, what does it take for you to live? And will you do that? So, do you have adequate? You won't have adequate Social Security. You can't live off that. But do you have a pension? Do you have savings? Do you have cash flowing assets? So you have to look at that, and you have to operate not out of feeling, but from accurate information. Okay. So again, it goes back to the start of this was I want you to raise your ceiling of complexity, right? Learn more. And as your knowledge goes up, your anxiety comes down, your risks come down, your stress comes down. If you're liquid, you have access to capital. Well, how do you get liquid? You have to pay yourself first. And if you can't do that, I know people know me for being the bank, but if you can't save money, you can't be the bank because that's where the money comes from. Look at the other video I put out there, 7 ways to fill your bucket. How do you find the money so that you can save? So, I'm not just saying, hey, let's save 15%. The service is helping you find the money. So what we really do is I've taking people through this exercise, and we've saved them anywhere from, now you got to have cash flow. I can't steer a parked car. Okay. So, but we've saved anybody as little as $300 or $400 a month. I think my personal record is 300, I'm sorry, over $3,000 a month of just money that, we looked at it differently. We said we could reposition. We bought $3,000 a month back into their personal economy. Okay. And it's not that hard. It's just you look at stuff a certain way, and we've been trained on money, and everything that you're talking about money is designed to make the financial institutions rich. What you want to do in the process, you have to deconstruct your personal economy, and you have to reconstruct it so that it's optimal, it's efficient, and it works to your benefit, not creating wealth for big corporations, for financial institutions, and for government agencies, because that's the way it's structured now. Okay. And you're still going to, render unto Caesar's what is Caesar's, but you can make it work better. How do you pay for private tuition schooling but get all your money back? Okay. Think about that. So you just don't know how. How do you do that? Well, that's you got that sounds self-service. You got to call me. So anyway, hey, this was a shorty. So if you're hearing this, I'm going to put up front, you probably need to start at 8 minutes because I had audio problems for the first minute. So I'm going to put that in the notes, and go out there, guys, and have a great day.